Hi greedy 3Ders, we'll know that 3D printing is really expensive, and so is the subsequent painting of said models at the end of it. Well, when Let's Resin reached out to me and asked me if I'd like to test their new set, which is a 50-piece paint set, including thinners and primers, etc., I was quite intrigued, and it came and I tested it, and if you're interested in the results, stay tuned. In terms of overall value, the Let's Resin Airbrush paint set appears particularly impressive for beginners and hobbyists working within a budget. The affordability of the set could make it an excellent starting point before maybe progressing towards more specialised paints and as such more expensive paint options. The pack itself contains 50 bottles in total, that's right, 50, 42 colours across several finish types, including standard, metallic, fluorescent and iridescent paints, alongside 3 dedicated primers, white, grey and black, and 5 airbrush thinners. This makes the set particularly appealing for beginners and intermediate users who want an all-in-one solution without the need to purchase additional supporting products separately. One of the set's strongest advantages is its convenience. The paints are pre-formulated for airbrush use, reducing preparation time and lowering the barrier to entry for users unfamiliar maybe with paint thinning and airbrush calibration. The inclusion of black, white and grey primers is also a notable benefit, as proper surface preparation is absolutely essential for achieving durable and vibrant finishes on miniatures, resin prints, cosplay props, scale models, etc. According to the manufacturer, the paints are water-based, non-toxic and were easy to clean out at the end of the airbrush session just using some plain old water. Now, I've got to be honest, I particularly liked the bottles on this paint set. Not only do they have a screw-off lid, but they have a little protective cap, which is really important, saving you spill anything. And once you've put the lid back on, the top part, the white section, also unscrews and allows you to easily get your paint out. This is a wonderful feature. There's no ball bearing inside to shake it up. So if you've got a paint shaker, and thankfully I have, now is the time to dust it off and get it going, because you really do need to make sure that these paints are well shaken, and the lack of a ball bearing is a little bit disappointing, means you've got to shake it a little bit more. Firstly, we're going to use some of the black primer, and I'm just going to put a few drops in. I'm going to use it neat with no primer, and I'm going to prime a couple of things, starting with a plain old spoon. The first thing I noticed, and here I'm using a GAD 39 airbrush with just some 25 to 30 psi, is that the coverage was not quite up to scratch as I would expect for a primer. I've used the more expensive primers and they seem to cover much quicker and a much better flow rate, but this did cover, having said that, and it certainly did its job of applying primer. Now, primer is really important for paints. It gives the paint something to adhere to, and if you're going to use colours like silvers or golds, etc., then a primer underneath can really bring them to life. So here you can see that it is going on to the little spoon absolutely fine, and it's quite a smooth spoon. I've done no prep work to it, so I was quite pleased how easy the primer stuck to it, and it certainly did the job. Here on a typical resin print, it's a Bucky Barnes head, I found that the primer actually went on better onto the 3D print. I guess it's because it's a rougher, more sort of pitted surface on a microscopic level anyway, and the primer went on here absolutely no problems at all. It covered, it did its job. Again, it's not quite as good coverage as the more expensive paints that are on the market, but it did do the job and caused a primering of Bucky Barnes's head. Now, to clean it when I finished, I just used plain old water in a squirty bottle, squirted it in, ran it through so that the paint was dissipated through the nozzle. Did this a few times, swilled it out, did it about 2 or 3 times. It cleaned really easy, and as you can see, I'm ready for my next paint test after just a couple of seconds of clean. Next, I'm going to be using some grey primer, and I'm going to pop this into the airbrush, but this time I'm going to use a little bit of thinner, and the ratio is around about 10 to 1, so 10 drops of paint to 1 drop of thinner. Don't tell me off, I'm giving it a stir using this cheaty method, and I'm going to prime this R2D2 that's made of black PLA. And again, you can see here that the primer is doing its job and it's going onto old R2D2 and sticking there. Again, it's not quite as thick and it's not quite as adhesive as some of the primers that I've used before. However, it is going on, it is staying on, and it's covering the black PLA with grey primer, which is what I want it to do. Yes, it's not quite as thick as more expensive ones, but you've got to realise here that it is doing its job at a fraction of the cost. For a beginner, this is absolutely fine, perfect for your priming of your PLA models and also your resin. Time to use a few colours, and here to start off with this fluorescent blue. It's a lovely colour blue, ratio of 10:1 with thinners, again giving it a good stir and popping it onto this already primed spoon. And you can see that the blue is sticking really well to the primer. I would say again, and I'm sorry if I sound like a bit of a stuck record, that on the first pass it's good, it's covered, but you could probably do with a second coat of this. So dry it with a hair dryer or let it dry naturally, and then hit it again with another coat, and that really does just bring it to life, and it pops with that wonderful blue colour. It's a really lovely colour. Next, this yellow green colour, exactly the same process, painting the spoon. It's been primed with white this time, and you can see that yellow colour's on there again. Let it dry, give it a second coat, and it will look amazing. Metallic gold is next, one of the metallic colours, and there's a couple of metallic colours here. A little bit of a mix with some thinners. I'm popping it onto an already primed spoon, and this I noticed more than the others really. I would say that you're going to need to give it maybe 3 coats of the gold to get a really strong consistent gold colour, but it did give that metallic colour. As you can see, this is about the 3rd layer now, and it's starting to look really nice. So I'm not going to complain about the quality I'm getting here. I'm just saying you really need to be thinking about giving your models maybe 2 or 3 coats depending on the thickness. This iridescent green, what a wonderful colour this is, and again I'm pleased with this one. This is its second coat going on onto an already primed spoon, and wonderful, a lovely green fluorescent, almost snot-like colour. It's really nice, isn't it? It's a beautiful translucent green that's gone on there. Now I'm going to take some of this rose pink and I'm going to do Bucky Barnes's face with it. One thing I did notice is, as I said earlier really, that resin 3D printed parts really do seem to look better with the paint. I guess that's because of the uneven surface of them, the very nature of the resin, but it really did stick well to the resin as opposed to on top of that white prime spoon, and I understand why, I really do. It's got something to grip to, it's got something to adhere to, and look at the coverage. That's just one coat. It's done a great job. I know it's not quite the end of a skin tone, but it's certainly the start of a skin tone, and I was so pleased with it. I thought, you know what, I'm going to give him a bit of a pink haircut. Who knows, perhaps old Bucky Barnes likes a pink haircut, but I think you'll agree with me. The paint's gone on, it's looking really good, it's stuck on really well. One coat, that is. I'm pleased, more pleased with resin than I am with a little bit of plastic. So now I'm going to use some metallic silver on top of R2D2, and I mix this again with a tiny bit of thinner, and I'm just going to pop that across R2D2, and it's going to need at least 2 layers, maybe even 3, to give him a bit of a silver look. Now, it isn't completely shiny silver, but you've got to remember this is also going onto a PLA R2D2, so he's probably looking a little bit rougher than if he was made out of shiny old resin. But I've got to be honest, the silver's going on. You can see it covering the black and the darkness of the PLA. You can see it's doing its job, and that will be silvering up nicely. A couple of layers later, a couple of coats later, with a good old dry in between, and that's a wonderful silver colour on old R2D2. Now I thought it would be fun to see if I can get this teal to go on with a brush, so after giving it a good shake, just taking a brush and painting it straight onto resin, no primer, just straight onto cured grey resin, and as you can see, it's coating it, it's covering it in teal. Yes, you know what I'm going to say. you're going to need to give it another coat, but it's coating it, it's covering it, and I think that's a wonderful, wonderful thing. So you can use this on a brush, you can use it with your airbrush, and when I've allowed it to dry, and I'm giving it the second coat now of this lovely, lovely teal colour, you'll see that it starts to cover much better. There's some wonderful colours in this range, some wonderful, wonderful colours, and it's just nice to know that if you need that colour that you can't find anywhere else, and you've got it in your airbrush set and you need to paint it on, you can do it with a brush. Just give it a couple of coats and it's done. And again, I'm going to say there's no primer on this. If this had been primed, it probably would have covered a lot better, but this was straight on top of resin. Now for some fluorescent green, and this will be fun. I thought I'm just going to give my Predator model here, my deck the Predator model, a few dollops of this fluorescent green. As we know, that's what the colour Predator blood is, and again I'm just dopping it on with my brush. This is undiluted, it's just shaken and painted straight on, and I'm doing the same on the base to give it some, oh, there's some of Deck's blood that's fallen on the base, look, and I love this Predator blood colour. This fluorescent green colour is wonderful, really, really good, and it's looking nice. It's made my model look better. I've got this paint line around. If you've got this paint line around, if you buy one of these sets and you need to do some Predator blood, you've got the colour built in and ready to go. Wonderful. So it's another use for this paint set. So let's be crystal clear and honest here. If you're dipping your toe into painting with an airbrush, then this set at 25 quid for all the colours you're getting, plus primers, plus thinners, is an absolute bargain. And if your wallet won't stretch too far, then what a great way to join the hobby. But having said that, this is not going to be replacing the Army Painter, Vallejo, Citadel, Kaleido paints, the more expensive paints on the market. They are much, much better, much easier to use, and you get a much better finish. Having said that, for the money that Let's Resin are charging for this set and for the results that I've got with it, for a beginner, absolutely perfect, absolutely fine, and it works. The only thing is you're going to have to give it an extra couple of layers of paint, where you probably would get away with the more expensive brands with one layer. With this set, you're probably going to need to give it 2 or 3 layers. You're going to get a result, of course you are, and you've seen the results that I've got, and it's done a really good job. But again, when I've been using these really expensive paints for all this time, going to the Let's Resin set really shows me that it is a cheaper set on the market, and it's cheaper for a reason. It's just not as good as the expensive ones, but it is very good for what it is. And again, I'll say it, for a beginner with a low budget, to get all these paints to start the hobby, and you've got the paints, you've got your models now, it's not cost you a lot, and it will do a really, really good job at painting your models. And again then, if you do like it and if you do want to get into the hobby, then you can start investing in more expensive paints. But why spend a fortune on the expensive brands to only realise maybe the hobby isn't for you? So what a great way to get into the starting of the hobby with this starter set from Let's Resin. Let me know what you think of what you've seen today. I'd be really interested to hear what you think. As always, leave a comment down below. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you like the content of these kind of videos. Please think about joining the Greedy 3D Patreon. And I've enjoyed using these. I really, really have. You probably see I'm still a bit grubby from my painting experience, and I'm sorry about that, but what a great idea and what a great thing. And I was quite pleasantly surprised with how good they were for the cost that they are. And you can see the results behind me. I'll show you some close-ups, of course, as we've gone through the video. But yeah, I'll say once more, beginner paint set for the money here, 25 quid. I think it's about $27. Don't quote me on this. It might be a little bit different where you are, but it's pretty darn cheap for that kind of money, for those kind of results. I don't think you can complain too hard. So let me know what you think. Thank you for watching. Thank you to Let's Resin for sending me that to have a little play with. Really do appreciate you doing that. And stay tuned for more 3D printing madness on Greedy 3D.